Howdy, Space Rangers, Captain Phoenix here. First of all, let me just say, Flash is one of the most dramatic shows I've ever seen. Like, literally, every single thing it over dramatizes it. It kind of makes you feel like you're watching, what's a telenovela or an Indian thing, Like, Flash is just one of those shows that really goes out there. Yet, I just love it. It's one of those drama shows I get behind. But we're not talking about Flash, we're talking about Crisis on Infinite Earths. So, you know how Marvel a couple of years back made Infinity War and Endgame and that was the biggest crossover ever? Yeah, so imagine that's the same for DC. Imagine DC has Infinity has their own version of Infinity War, except instead of being in the movies, it's actually on the TV shows. And the Justice League isn't the Justice League you know and love, at least like the one you're very common with. So basically it's DC CW Arrowverse. It's the CW Arrowverse um, Infinity War crossover saga in this, and it goes by the name Crisis on Infinite Earths, based off one of DC's most popular comics ever, if not the most popular comic, Crisis on Infinite Earths. Okay, before I start the review, let me just say before I start the review, let me just say that if you have not watched this, spoilers, like epic spoilers, like mad spoilers. So just letting you know. On top of that, I will if you have not heard of Crisis on Infinite Earths or you haven't heard of the Arrowverse as a whole, this is going to be something hard for you to get behind. For one, you're gonna need to watch Elseworlds, which kind of builds this up. And you're gonna have to watch every Arrowverse show ever. Don't worry about the Arrowverse shows, I've got that covered. If you have no idea what Crisis on Infinite Earths is and you've never heard of it, go watch my Arrowverse review. I've done a review on the Arrowverse. You can go watch it, get yourself known. But anyways, I'm gonna start off in the meat of things and talk about Crisis on Infinite Earths. All right, now for the intro, let's talk about it actually. So, what's Crisis on Infinite Earths? Apparently, the universe is gonna be destroyed by this guy called the Antimatter, right? This Antimatter wants to cover the universe in a wave of antimatter, and once he does that, he'll create his own universe out of the antimatter, while our universe is made of normal matter. This story covers five parts. So each part is in each different show. Part one is in Supergirl, part two is in Batwoman, part three is in Flash, part four is in Arrow, and part five is in Legends of Tomorrow, in that order. So Legends of Tomorrow always has the final part, and Supergirl most of the time has the first part, except for Invasion. So what happens is we have the Monitor. This guy, he's kind of a douche at the same time, kind of a hero, where he kind of manipulates everyone, but he's kind of like playing chess with the Anti-Monitor. Every move he makes, as odd as it seems, all works to an end game, and the Anti-Monitor is putting all these heroes in situations to a point where they have to guarantee success. So let's talk about each part in its own individual style, shall we? Let's start with part one. Part one is about Earth 38, Supergirl's Earth, being destroyed by the wave of antimatter. Therefore, the heroes have to work together to stop the wave from destroying Earth 38. They work together, they have this huge tower satellite thing that prevents the antimatter wave, and they're able to rescue 4 billion out of the 7 billion people on Earth 38 to safety. However, sadly, the other 3 billion died and Earth 38 was destroyed. All the heroes have to evacuate to Earth 1, and during the battle on Earth 38, Arrow, aka Oliver Queen, lost his life. Therefore, once Oliver Queen lost his life, we move into part 2. To me, part 2 is easily the worst and kind of like the most nothing part. We have Flash, Arrow's daughter from the future, who came back to meet him. Yeah, we're pulling on Flash season 5 here, as well as Sarah Lance, all try and figure out a way to bring Arrow back to life. That this was kind of a boring subplot, and they really did nothing with it. Like, they brought his body back, but now they have to go to Purgatory to bring his soul back. It's just like too much for me. On the other hand, we did get an interesting story between Supergirl and Batwoman, where they go to Earth 99, where they meet 99 Batman. They have a fight with him, and we find out that in this Earth, Batman actually killed Superman. So Batman v Superman happened on this Earth. However, Superman broke all the bones in his body, and he's like, yo, we gotta kill Supergirl because she's, one of Superman. And they're like, oh. And Batwoman's like, oh, well, in that case, nope, can't let that happen. So she kills Batman. And by the way, if you don't know Batwoman, she's Batman's cousin. And she became a superhero after Batman disappeared. So on this Earth, she kills Batman, she rescues Supergirl, and they go home. And she's like, yo, you know what? I'll never be like my cousin. I'll trust you. So that's a nice, different trait than what she had to Batman, who never trusted Superman, whereas Batwoman actually puts her trust in Supergirl, and these guys actually do become good friends. Nice. Now we move into part 3, which is where Now, like, everything goes to crap. So in part three, we the Anti Monitor comes in, and long story short, oh wait. So before part before this whole Crisis on Infinite Earth things, the Flash, aka Barry Allen, I don't know why I called him by the superhero name Flash instead of the real name first. It's weird. Was supposed to die. He was prophesied to die during the crisis. However, due to Elseworlds, Arrow sacrificed himself. He said, "Yo, I will die if you let my friends live." Because Flash and Supergirl were supposed to die. However, so the Monitor said, "Fine, they can live. Arrow will die," which is what happened. Arrow dies, and Flash is supposed to die. He was supposed to disappear. Supergirl, she got spared in Elseworlds, so she's fine. So Flash was supposed to die, and what happened is we find out that the Barry Allen from Earth 90 is the one who died. So the Monitor says Barry Allen is supposed to die, and it's kind of alluding that it's going to be Earth 1 Barry Allen. But at the end of the day, it turns out to be Earth 90 Barry Allen. So he dies. Black Lightning also gets introduced into the CW, so now he's officially an Arrowverse character in an Arrowverse show. And now that he's brought into the CW, he has to help stop the destruction of the universe. When he does that, Earth 90 Flash gives his life. The Anti Monitor comes in and destroys all of how should I say? He destroys all of the universes. He destroys Earth 1, the last universe standing, and now the Anti Monitor rules the universe. He kills the Anti Monitor. He takes the powers of the Anti Monitor and kills him. Pariah is his slave, and everyone is dead. Which takes us into part four. Part four is now the best part, but what's weird about part four is that it starts off months after part three. So the superheroes go to this place called the Vanishing Point. I forgot to mention, but in this what's this? In this during the crisis we have seven paragons. So these paragons are what make up the Justice League. Each superhero is a paragon, and when they are paragon, they make up the prophesied Justice League. We have Batwoman, we have like the paragon of love, the paragon of truth, the paragon of justice, the paragon of honor and loyalty. We have those guys, and all these guys make up the Justice League. So we'll have Supergirl, we'll have Martian Manhunter, we'll have Batwoman, and so on and so forth. So so the paragons, they and Superman was supposed to be a paragon. However, at the end of part three, Pariah sent them to the Vanishing Point, and when Superman got to the Vanishing Point, Lex Luthor killed him and then switched place with him. So now Lex became the paragon of truth. Okay. So now we have the seven paragons who must stop the elimination of the universes. Half the team gets sent to go stop the Monitor from creating the end of the universe, and the other team goes to fight the Anti-Monitor at the beginning of the universe. Hijinks happen, they do half the mission, and they go to fight the Anti-Monitor. In a pretty cool fight scene against his minions, we have Arrow, who's back from the dead, as Spectre now. He fights the Anti-Monitor, creates a new universe, boom, end of part 4. Part 5 begins somewhat after part 4, where they wake up into this new universe, and they're like, oh, things are not the same here. For one, all the shows are now combined onto one Earth, and this Earth is called Earth Prime. So to the heroes, they think that the other Earths are destroyed, when really there are more multiverses out there, they just haven't found a way to access them yet. So the heroes are stuck on this now new permanent Earth that Arrow created. We kind of spent the episode, looking back on his accomplishments and what he's done. But in the meantime, the Anti-Monitor is still around. How shocking. They shrink him down, not kill him, shrink him down, and have his armies, be killed. And the story kind of ends there. But basically, what I would like to say is that Crisis on Infinite Earths is a good thing. The budget has been increased. I love the characters. I love the cast. The cast feels so huge, especially for a TV show like Event. This is huger than it should be. For a movie, I understand, but for a TV show, it is way bigger than it should be. And they pulled it off. True, part 2 and part 5 were a bit they could really use some work on them. However, for 1, 3, and 4, they were really well done, and I really liked them. I feel like they could have really cut part 2 out, but they had to get it to stretch to 5 parts, no problem. And yeah, no, in all honesty, I kind of really loved Crisis on Infinite Earths. I find it to be a good TV adaptation of the comic. I'm glad Barry and Kara didn't die. That I'm glad for. And Oliver does die, and they remember him in his memory. Over Crisis on Infinite Earths, it's entertaining all throughout. It's action packed. It's high intensity. It's enjoyable. It's everything you wanted from a superhero show. Think of this as Infinity War and Endgame, but for TV, and it's under the DC logo. That's what it is. Anyways, guys, Crisis on Infinite Earths again, fun. It was very fun. Part 2 and 5 really needed to have work done on them, but I don't write things, so what do I know? And all in all, it was a really good thing. Out of 10, I would give it a 9. The only thing that was really holding this down was part 2 and a bit of part 5. Not like part 5 record and everything. And I love how we got the Justice League at the end of part 5. We got Supergirl, Batwoman, not Lex, obviously. Arrow, we had an empty chair for him, Black Lightning, Flash. It was really cool. I really loved it. Anyways, guys, that's been my review on Crisis on Infinite Earths. Thank you so very much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, become my friend, comment. I'm not gonna tell you to put on that notification bell because my bell will disturb you. And with that, thank you so very much for watching, guys. And with that, I've been Captain Phoenix, and I'll see you in another universe.